Welcome to day 3 of the training course. As before, take a comfortable seat on a cushion or in a chair and relax your body, but at the same time keep your back straight. Now focus on breathing wherever you feel it the most, and straight away cover it with as much attention as you can, focusing on the details, the finest details of the inhalation, the pause, and then the exhalation. As previously, you can put a note 1, 2, or you could say, for as long as the breath comes in, you could say the word in mentally and then out on exhalation. Like yesterday, if you catch yourself thinking, just return to the breath. No judgment. When I say judgment, don't say, oh no, I caught myself breathing, or I keep doing it. There's no need for that. Just return to the breath. And while you are focusing on the breath, you may notice other sensations of consciousness or in consciousness. For example, you may hear some sounds. This is also appearing in consciousness. So you could hear those sounds. They appear from nowhere and they disappear again. And it's out of your control. And your job could be just to observe that moment that they appear. With this in mind, it means that at any time it would be possible to meditate or to be mindful, and you could use sounds around you in order to focus rather than as a source of distraction. Right now you can just be listening for sounds and at the same time focusing on your breath. Rather than paying attention, you're allowing those things to take your attention. Again, if you catch yourself thinking, no problem, return to the breath. As you're focusing on your breath, you can hear those sounds, observe those sounds. when listening for sounds, you can pay less or more attention. For example, I can hear the humming of the refrigerator. And if I really focus my attention, I can hear different levels of sound within that sound, different layers of sound. So by focusing on that, I have a different quality of experience. So take a moment to focus on whatever sounds are in your environment and let them come and go. In the same way that sounds appear in consciousness, it's comparable to the way that thoughts appear in consciousness. We do not choose to hear sounds, they appear and we are obliged to hear them. And if you think about it, thoughts are much the same. We do not generate thoughts. At some place or for some unknown reason, they appear in our consciousness. And then we follow a process of kind of feeding a thought, or as we will learn in this process, to observe the thought as an appearance in consciousness. So return to the breath and at the same time be aware of the sounds which appear and disappear. When you observe a sound, there's no need to label it, to say what the sound is. And this is something that I found very difficult at the beginning, to just hear, be aware of the sound. You don't need to make any kind of mental comment. So again, back to the breath, be open to sounds and any other sensations which appear in consciousness. There's just 1 minute left, so start again completely fresh, 100% attention on the breath, in and out. And if you catch yourself thinking, or observe the thought in the same way that you hear that sound, just observe the thought. Well done. That's the end of day 3, and thank you for your practice. I hope that you might be already realizing some benefits from this. Hopefully your brain or your mind feels a little less cluttered than before. You can at any time just observe your breath or observe your feeling of your body, for example, how your hands feel, hot or cold. If there is an ache or a pain, you could notice how you're feeling in your mood. See if you're carrying a mood from one situation to another. These are all observations of consciousness, or which appear in consciousness, I should say. We've added sound to the practice, and hopefully you can relate thoughts to how sounds are appearing in consciousness. They can just be observed and they will disappear of their own accord. See you again tomorrow.